Hey, welcome back everyone. So today's day 2. Today is pull day. Everything we pull towards us. Again, we need the TAURUS SelectaBell, and I've got 5 exercises for you. These are suitable for beginners, advanced, and professionals. Now, just keep in mind, if you're a beginner, your rep range is anything between 10 to 12 reps. If you're intermediate, anything between 6 to 8, maybe even 10. If you're a professional, anything between 4 to 6, maybe 8 reps. Now, how do you determine what is your best rep range? Now, first of all, you will know if you're a beginner, if you're just starting, or if you're professional and there's a couple of years in of your training. But then, when you try to select the exact weight you should be using, let's say your rep range is 8, then you need to grab the dumbbell, and whatever exercise we're doing, you need to be sure the form is on point. That's the first main important thing. And the second thing is to rep out 8 reps with that weight. Should feel like at the end of the 7th or 8th rep that you're somewhat fatigued. If you could now continue to another 10, 12, 40 reps with that weight, you know that weight is way too low for you and you're more in the strength endurance rather than power or strength training, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm going to grab my dumbbells now, and I'd say let's get going with the workout. Here we go.
Okay, so the first exercise is called the W raise. Why do we call it W raise? Because when we raise the dumbbells to the top at the highest point, our arms form a W. Pretty simple, right? Now, what else is important? That we're going to try to reach as far behind, even behind our ears with our hands if possible, to get our arms in an external rotation, therefore targeting the mid-scapular muscle, which is the muscle below your shoulder blade. Now this exercise might look easy, but it isn't, so please be aware that you first try this with a lower weight to perform the exercise correctly. Now also you need to make sure that your back is strong and you're able to support leaning forward. If you have back problems, lower back problems, here's an alternative. You grab yourself a chair and then you bring your legs together in front of it, lean down and grab the weights below your legs, and then you raise them to the side, sort of in the same plane. Make sure that your elbows go towards the ceiling and keep or maintain your head in that position. Now, what else you could do is, if you don't want to use a chair, now this one is again a little bit more lower back heavy, but if you're able to lean forward into a position that your upper body is sort of parallel to the floor, head in the length of your spine, then knees soft, you should be fine. Now again, try to raise your arms in one plane of motion to the top. And always breathe out as you pull the dumbbells to the top. There you go. That's the way to perform this exercise. Make sure to increase the weight a little bit if you want to for the next exercise. Now what else do you need? You need a table, because this one is called the Dumbbell Pull-over. So you place yourself on the table and in a way that your shoulders are in line with the table, with the edge of the table. Now, you bring the dumbbell back down to the floor. Make sure that you lock your elbows as best as possible, because the more movement you will have in your elbows, the more your triceps will be involved. What we actually want to train here is your back, your lats, which you can see here. So make sure that you lock in your elbows as best possible, and then it depends on your range of motion of your shoulder blade how far you can lower that weight behind your back. An alternative would be to use a cushion or something hard like a mat to elevate your upper body a little bit, to be able to do this on the floor if you don't have a table like I showed you in the first exercise. Again here, make sure to keep your arms straight, lower the weight onto the floor, and then breathe out as you bring it up. Again, make sure that your lower body, in terms of your bum, thighs, legs, everything, and core is engaged to support this exercise. Then on the way down, you just grab the weight and put it safely back onto the table. Okay, here we go. The next exercise is called the Romanian deadlift. The first variation would be to grab the dumbbells and keep it on the side of your body as you lower your way down. Make sure your legs or your knees are soft. You're pushing your bum to the back, and on the way up, you bring your hip to the front. So you engage your bum as you push all the way up. Now, the other variation is bringing the dumbbells in front of your body. This is closer to the actual deadlift and therefore a little bit harder. Also, on the way up, make sure that you press your arms into your thighs, engaging your bum, pushing that to the front. Now, the other alternative would be a single Romanian deadlift. That means here we have the component of balance as well. This one isn't easy, but it's fun, and as well, you know, targeting different coordinational motor skills in your body. Again here, make sure that your knee is soft and stays in one position. If you choose a heavier weight, obviously this whole thing becomes much more difficult as it looks. And also, you try to stay in one line with your upper body and your leg. It's like a pendulum, right? So you lean to the front and your leg at the same rate rises to the back as your body leans to the front, as you can see here. Always breathe out as you push yourself to the front. Again, bring your hip to the front as well. Okay, we're increasing the weight again, because now comes one of my favorite exercises called the single arm row. Again, the best way of performing this exercise would be to have support, meaning a table where you can, you know, kneel down and hold yourself at the front. And then also bring the weight all the way down to the floor and raise it to the back. And it should be in a half circle on the way back, meaning you're targeting, or as you raise it to the top, you want to make sure that your arm ends where your navel is. And then bring it all the way back down to the floor. So the alternative would be that if you don't have a table which supports this whole exercise, would be that you will find something where you can grab yourself. So like here, it is maybe something higher. You lean to the front. The reason why I don't like this exercise too much is because for beginners, the problem is you need to make sure that your core is really engaged and able to maintain that position. I mean, for advanced and pros, this is a really good one because obviously engages the core in addition to the actual single arm row. Now this one is, I love this one, this is called the Renegade Rows. Why? Because we have a rowing exercise and a plank in one, so we engage the core, and at the same time we have a rowing exercise for the back. Now, if you have your legs spread apart like now, really wide, it's easy. If you bring them closer together, you can see that it's much harder, because what we want to make sure is that our hip stays level to the ground and doesn't drop as we lift off the weight off the floor. That's really, really important. Alright guys, you managed to get through this workout. Well done.